Are you on your knees, Warren?
No, I'm sitting on the ground. It's 8 feet, but the grading for the neighbor's lot versus ours is different. So it's about a 10.5-foot fence now.
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to start our meeting. The first item is the public question period, and Jeremy Levi has a question. It says, you have stated countless times before that your wife never benefited financially from her involvement with beautification. Yet you and her are claiming $50,000 in damages from Councillor Jack Ettery, which ultimately means you are claiming damages from the town, as the town will have to cover all the costs. These are inconsistent facts. If you and your wife's claim are awarded, it would seem that she did in fact benefit financially. Can you please clarify how she did not benefit financially, but believes there is merit to $50,000 in damages? Well, I'm not going to go into.
Can I answer that? Can I answer that? I think you'll appreciate the answer. Can I answer that?
Well, you can try first, and I can maybe add to it, but go ahead.
Okay, so the question was, did Doris benefit financially from the town? And the answer is, and has always been, no. Doris did not benefit financially from the town, either legally or illegally. Doris simply acted as a volunteer. The problem was with financial controls. There were problems with financial controls. Doris did not benefit from the town. Now, the separate question seems to be kind of a trick question. Well, how do you not benefit from the town if there's a $50,000 settlement or question of settlement? That's a separate question altogether. It's not about, Doris has not benefited from the town. That's a question of damages that they're seeking. The question with regards to whether or not she benefited from the town is straight. It has been clear from the beginning and has never been in question. The answer is no, she has not benefited from the town.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much cover it?
Yes, so to continue, first of all, yes, I agree 100%. I'm glad to hear you say that. And I also would comment on financial controls. If there were problems with financial controls, they had nothing to do with Doris. Now, and also, I think Councillor Ettery sort of said what I would say, that if there's a settlement and we get 50,000, that would be in the future. Right now, we're talking about the past. We can't talk about the future. We'll get to the future when we get to the future. And that is all I want to say at this point in time on this topic. And that's that. Next. Anonymous. I could not find the agenda, so could therefore not ask a question. The agenda that was on the website had a September date. I don't know. I haven't looked recently at that agenda. I have my own copy. If the agenda isn't appropriate, we will have to fix that for the future. Okay, next. Morton Cross-Stern, this is for Councillor Schaefer. Who is the councillor responsible for the town's legal matters? I refer to the lawsuit involving Councillor Jack Ettery on the agenda. In your capacity as councillor for legal affairs and given your training and experience as an attorney, can you please advise us and offer your opinion on the merits of the lawsuit being discussed, the chances of success for the plaintiff, and whether, in your opinion, this lawsuit enhances or detracts from the reputation of Hampstead? I would say that that would not be an appropriate question for Councillor Schaefer to answer.
May I just intervene, Mr. Mayor? And I think it is totally not appropriate. I would not venture to get myself involved in this. This is an issue that wherein both parties involved have their own counsel, and I certainly would not get myself involved in this issue. So I'm sorry, Mr. Grossstern, but I don't consider your question appropriate for me, and therefore I will not respond to it.
Thank you very much. We both agree on that. Okay, next. Jeremy Levi, read the question, Jack. I never said that she benefited from the town. Okay, thank you. Next.
I can't actually see the question, sorry.
I'm sorry?
I said I can't actually see the question. I can't read it.
I know. Well, it's gone at this point. Jeremy Levi, please answer the question I asked. I believe that both Councillor Edery and I answered the question. Next.
Bill, do you want to repeat the question? Because I'm not sure if we missed something.
Yeah, but when I dismiss them, they're gone, so I can't see the question anymore.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Mayor, if you want, I can, if you click on dismiss, you can see it. If you want, I can read it again.
Oh,
Want me to? I'll read it.
Okay. Here we go. I'll read it again. You have stated countless times before that your wife never benefited financially from her involvement with beautification, yet you and her are claiming 50,000 in damages from Councillor Jack Edery, which ultimately means you are claiming damages from the town, as the town will have to cover all the costs. These are inconsistent facts. Well, they're not inconsistent facts. She never benefited financially. If she were to benefit in the future, that's another story, but she never benefited financially, so there's no inconsistency. If you and your wife's claim are awarded, it would seem that she did in fact benefit. No, that she did, that's the past tense. She did not benefit. She might benefit in the future, which is hypothetical. Can you please clarify how she did not benefit financially, but believes there is merit to the 50,000 damages? I think both Councillor Edery and I have answered that. Oh, no, you want to know, how is there merit to 50,000 damages? Sure. The damages are related to the damage to her reputation and my reputation, nothing to do with anything else. Okay, now we will move on. So that takes care of the questions I see.
Mr. Mayor, sorry, there's another question coming from Anonymous again, and I believe it's the same person who asked about the agenda not appearing on the web page. And I will tell you that the person who asked the question, Anonymous, is correct. I'm looking at the web page now. The next council meeting that is published on our website states September 13th. So the SCM special council meeting, special council meeting is not on the website. So their follow-up question, if it's the same person, Anonymous, says, in the case the resident cannot access the agenda, it would be possible to ask a question at the end of the special council meeting. Normally, there's no second question period at a special council meeting. So I just want to, before you answer that, Mr. Mayor, the individual who asked the question, if you look at the screen that's on the Teams meeting now, you can actually see, and Terry will move his mouse up and down, you can actually see the agenda itself. It's very short. You'll see it on the right-hand side of all of our pictures. The whole agenda is there. If it's an item that's there,
I don't know how to figure.
There's feedback from somebody. Sorry. So on that point, Mr. Mayor, since the person didn't see the special council meeting agenda, will you open up the question period for at the end?
But, I suppose
I'm muting out the person. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I suppose I will, unfortunately, it's an anonymous person, so I don't know who I would be opening it up to.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's they're typing as the questions are being typed in now during question period, but I'm assuming once the agenda goes through, maybe that person has a question on the items we're talking about or something else. But sorry, so whoever actually asked the question, the question period is still going on. So if you type your question in now, it will be entertained during this question period. We've received 3 other questions since we've talked. So,
yes.
Sorry. The person just asked, I have no question per se, but I'd like to know how it is handled. So I think we just answered everything to help you. And if you do have a question, go ahead and type it in now. Mr. Mayor, you can go back to you. It's the question from after the anonymous of 811, it goes to the question of 812.
Okay, thank you very much. So we will move on to the 812 anonymous. That's how we can distinguish between anonymous by the time. Wonderful. Mr. Mayor, you're essentially suing the town, and if you win, you will benefit financially. You are not named in the email, so why are you suing? I think I will leave that to the lawyers to explain that. I'm not going to get into the details of this case. Morton Grosthorn, is the meeting valid if not posted on the town's website? Answer, yes. I have no question per se, but I'd like to know how this is handled. Okay, that's everything. We're finished and we're moving on to the actual agenda. I believe someone wants to move that we delete
Yes.
item 7.
So I'd like to make a proposal to remove item number 7. It's a resolution on defense or the representation of Council Jack Ettery regarding legal proceedings. It's item on number 7 on the agenda, and I'm asking it to be removed so that we can actually propose the agenda without that item.
And I
Anyone-
second, Councillor Wiggensberg will second it.
So Councillor Wiggenberg has seconded, Councillor Goldwax has proposed that. Does anybody
recuse-
not agree?
Recuse myself on the votes because it specifically deals with me.
If you want it removed, I don't think you can recluse yourself from this because we have to have a unanimous vote from everybody at the meeting.
Well, I don't know. That seems to be catch-22, doesn't it?
Not really. It's just an item on the agenda.
Well, am I allowed to vote on it?
Yes.
In my opinion, yes.
Yes.
And Simona, the acting town clerk, and Richardson are both in agreement.
Okay, if I'm allowed to vote on it, then it's unanimous.
Okay, so nobody objects. So now we get to adoption of the amended agenda on motion of Councillor
Goldwax.
Schaefer,
Goldblack, seconded by Councillor Schaefer, resolved that the agenda as amended of the special council meeting, well, maybe I should say that the agenda as amended unanimously of the special council meeting is hereby adopted as submitted. Anyone opposed? Nobody's opposed. Opposed on number 4. I'll just announce each member of council having received a copy of the deputy town clerk deposits the minutes of the regular planning advisory committee meeting held on August 9, 2021. The council takes note of the deposit of said minutes by the deputy town clerk. And that brings us to item number 5. 2 minor exemptions related to 51 Merton. It is proposed by Councillor.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. I'll ask Richard or Simona, did you receive any intervention, any questions before about this? No? Okay, thank you.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, there were no interventions.
No.
Okay, okay, so it's proposed by Councillor
Broadnay.
Goldwax.
Bunting, seconded by Councillor Goldwax, and resolved that the request for 2 minor exemptions to zoning bylaw number 1001 for the property located 51 Merton, lot number 2088939, zone RA1 is approved. I will, anyone opposed?
Before we vote, can you just explain it so that, because I
Yes.
think,
Yeah, Councillor Ettery, it's just the legalization of an existing zoning situation. Where the
no, I know what
building
it is. I
is
just want it explained for the residents.
It's the existing building, the side yard and the front setback are off from what the zoning permits, but it's existing there already. So we're just legalizing the existing situation. The alternative is to tell them to tear down their house.
Agreed.
I'm not sure if that's the only alternative, but nevertheless,
We could
it's
tell
a
them to make their
pre-existing.
yard bigger.
Yeah, it's a pre-existing situation that dates back decades. Okay, now we have another resolution. This one is for the authorization to sell some items. It was proposed by Councillor
Ettery,
Schaefer.
Goldwax.
Ettery, seconded by Councillor Schaefer, I think. And resolved, I'm sorry?
yes,
And resolved that the Director of Purchasing, with the approval of the Director General, is be authorized to sell the items listed below: one pickup truck Ford F-150 year 2008, number CA 08-176, two tractors, summer tires, size 17.5 L24, two tractor winter tires with rims, size 225-/70R 19.5, two tractor summer tires with rims, size 12-16.5, and Ford tractor winter tires with rims, size 360/80R 24. Anyone opposed?
No, but I just have a question, which would be, I'm assuming it would be for the Director General. I'm assuming, Mr. Sun, that when a vehicle is sold, all markings relating to the town website, logos, name and everything else is removed, so that if the car is used elsewhere, we are not identified as the driver or the owner of that vehicle, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Councillor, you are right, and I confirm that all markings, logos, references to the town of Hempstead on any vehicle sold will be removed, and as before, has always been removed.
Perfect,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Just to clarify, this is part of the process of clearing out all the extra garbage that's in the Public Works yard so that we can do the revamping of the Public Works yard.
Yes, you're right, Councillor Edery.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the agenda. Would someone like to move adjournment?
Schaefer.
Goldowax.
So moved by Councillor Schaefer and seconded by Councillor Goldwax. Anyone opposed? Opposed? In that case, the meeting is adjourned. I thank everyone. Thank you for attending. Thank you for your questions. We didn't actually mention it, so I will mention it right now. Our blood drive
Yes,
is August 24th. You need to make a reservation to give blood, and if Councillor Goldwax wants to add anything else, go right ahead.
yes, so thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Yes, the 15th annual blood drive, which is very important. Of course, due to COVID restrictions, as Mayor Steinberg pointed out, you do need to make an appointment. There is a 1-800 number or the iGive email address. They have extended their normal hours due to the overall overwhelming response. So instead of from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m., they've actually opened it from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And they're expecting more donors. So on behalf of myself, my son, and the town of Hempstead, please come out and give blood. If you can't give blood, tell somebody who can. Tell somebody who maybe they can. It is very important. Blood is important. Plasma is important. Everything's important in this time of very difficult time for the past 18 months. So I'm asking everyone to come give blood. And we are desperate need. HEMA Quebec reached out that we are in desperate need of the O blood. That is very important to what they're asking. Their banks are low on the O blood, type O. So please. Yeah, type O. So positive, negative, doesn't matter, type O. And again, August 24th, very important. So next Tuesday, please come out. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now I'll ask we're ending the meeting, and I'm asking the
Is
council.
O the universal donor?
Mr. Mayor, 1 second. Michael, you have one tonight, type O. It's me. I will be registering by 1-800 to give blood. And as I said, I carry type O blood.
Thank you very much.
Is O
Thank
the
you.
universal donor?
I think O negative is a universal, but they're looking at they're stating they need O, type O blood. So positive, negative, they need type O. So you know what? There's been a lot of blood transfusions going on, especially with COVID and people getting sick. So there is a great need for the blood. They are posting everywhere they can, and that's why they're extending the hours on all these blood drives. Just the blood drives in the week of this week, the week we have our blood drive, there are dozens and dozens of blood drives throughout the island of Montreal and province of Quebec that are going on because the need is so important.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll say good night to everyone, And councilors, please turn this one off and then turn on our caucus meeting. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.